I'm going to be giving a introduction on kind of ICT and the basics. Again, I'm going to direct you to the author of these concepts, the Inner Circle Trader. You can find him on YouTube, and you can find him also on Twitter for the time being until November. And then he'll be most likely exclusively on YouTube with shorter lectures and things of that nature. So the premise kind of behind these concepts are going to be liquidity and imbalances. These highs above current market price, if we see the market is gyrating right now, above is going to be buy side liquidity. And again, this is not a market recap. I'm just trying to explain to you and kind of give you an idea of what these concepts kind of go after and what the algorithm that we subscribe to seeks. Okay. So these clean highs right here, that's going to be known as buy side liquidity above market price and a premium. And there's going to be buy stops resting above here that are going to be for the shorts, right? It's good when you're short, you're going to be buying to close the position here. Again, back here, this high, this all-time high back here would be, buy side liquidity. And now the second kind of part of what an algorithm is going to seek is an imbalance or an inefficiency. This teal box right here is going to be known as an imbalance or an inefficiency. And you may have seen the term kind of floating around. If you've been in the markets or you've been kind to learn, you'll see these gaps. You hear people talk about, price will always come back to a gap, which has its truths, but there's context, a lot more context to that. So price, if we can see this example right here, if we're at these all-time highs, we traded down. And again, if you can kind of go back to here before it made its all-time high, this would be buy side liquidity. These highs right here, right? That is going to be considered some buy side here. We swept that buy side, we moved lower. And if we're done with buy side, we're going to be seeking sell side. Okay. Now if we just pan out here, we're on the daily time frame. This move down here lower went all the way from this low in February 21 here. So you can kind of see there's a little more than meets the eye when it comes to the markets moving. And this is not, I'm just kind of giving you an idea. I'm not saying this is all. This is definitely not it. This is not all of the concepts. This is not a short clip of here's how to trade ICT. You're going to be good, profitable, ready to go. Not even close. So if we are above market in a premium in just relation of being higher than the current trading price, it's going to be buy side. And that goes for imbalances as well, buy side imbalances, fair value gaps that are in a premium. But if we are below market price, we can look at that as sell side. So we take this example right here. We did trade lower, right? We went back into that 2021 low. We took that out here in June of 22. So if we took buy side liquidity, right, with that from that low back then to the left of our chart, we're going to be seeking a buy side liquidity target or an imbalance here. Remember, imbalances or liquidity, right? We're going to be seeking that. If we don't have any imbalance, we don't have any highs, old highs, we should look for an imbalance. Okay. There's a order of precedence with these, and we'll definitely cover those as well later on in the channel. But until then, we took sell side here, then we traded up, and we captured buy side. These equal highs right here, these very clean highs, are going to be a sign of something that the algorithm may want to reprice to. These markets are manipulated. They are not fair. as in the words of retail logic, they go in the absolute opposite of retail. All of retail methodology are the inverse, I should say. So we trade up here, got the buy side imbalance, buy side liquidity. That's a very good point of interest. As you kind of mark up your charts, that's something that you want to keep in mind here. So if we did take buy side liquidity, right, we're not going to necessarily look for this quote unquote breakout. This is where, most or some breakout traders may get hurt, is that they see this high, this little break above these highs, and they're going to get tripped into their orders. But they're going to be the counterparty to the individuals who are trading with the algorithm and knowing that it is going to offer a sell program. And look where we went. Below the market price, if we're up here, below the market, that's sell side, right? We took buy side, right? So now we can easily look for sell side inefficiencies, sell side liquidity, and sell side inefficiencies to be filled here. Again, we can just kind of map out some of this here. So we see this imbalance. This would have been a beautiful trade. If this all wasn't here and we're kind of looking for a target to draw to, this teal region would be it. Similar to how there were these clean highs right here. There's these very clean lows right here. And this imbalance. So we traded down into it, retraced back up after capturing sell side. This is still sell side right here. If there wasn't, more chart data, all this to the right wasn't happening already. And we're not really looking in hindsight, but it's still good to study. And then we even came down here and we took this low here also. Right? So we had two sweeps of liquidity, this imbalance. And then after we took the sell side, where did we go? We went back up into a premium looking for a buy side imbalance. Because if we're down here, and again, if none of this has happened yet, right? None of this has happened on chart. We're in, September 7th, 2022. That's crazy. That's like a year ago. Wow. And we trade up, right? We're going to look for a buy side. So then this gap right here would be something we want to draw our eyes to. And see how we nicely come and fill this in. Look at the bodies, respect this area, right? The wicks do the damage, the bodies tell the story. And then look where we went. All the way down. We took out that buy side. Where we come for? We're coming for sell side. Boom. Okay. So now if we're looking at kind of current prices here, what do we see here? If we're just looking at this range from June 9th, 2023 to right now, right? Tomorrow will be September 7th, 2023. What is something that we can kind of see even off the premise of what we've been talking about the last few minutes? There's going to be some lows. There's an inefficiency here. So there's some clean lows right here. Again, very clean lows. This is not, financial advice. I'm not saying this is where the market will go. I'm just trying to show you the first layer of many. If we use the metaphor from Shrek, where he's talking about the onion, and there's layers. There's plenty of layers more to this. There's macroeconomic stuff. There's plenty that goes into this. More than just finding a low and a high and inefficiency. It's more than that. Okay. So we have these lows that are possibly here, as a speculation, and we have an inefficiency right here. And I'm not going to go into the type of this inefficiency here because that's, again, a little more advanced. And I don't want to necessarily kind of blind you with the bells and whistles of all that kind of comes with studying ICT here. But look at, and I do want to kind of leave you with something here. So we have this imbalance currently, but look at the respect to this imbalance from April of 22. Look how price kind of comes, and we've been kind of traded in and out of that. These areas are still sensitive. Even though they've been traded through, and we tried to trade it back up in them, and we traded above them, and we came back down into them and kind of brought us back up a little bit, and we could see ourselves coming back down into this. Even from, more than a year ago, this area is still sensitive to price, like a magnet. You see, we kind of came up, back in it, made a clean high, came back down in it, trade up out of it, and we could probably come back down into it. I don't know. But yes. So if we are just on the basics level, you want to understand liquidity and imbalances. Go in your charts, whatever market, it does not matter what market it is. If you are bonds, gold, futures, indexes, Forex, stocks, you're going to start seeing this. And I want you to kind of mark it up and drop a screenshot in the comments and let me know what you see. It doesn't have to be, predictive, but if you just do a quick little markup and you just save these, right? And you save these in, in a folder in your computer. And you start kind of looking at these. These are moments where you're just training your eye, right? You may not be able to see this, on your first glance of watching this video, but it's going to take time being in the charts and actually diving in and kind of starting to find these things, to find these occurrences in price. And that's all I really have for you guys. I do want to just leave with that quick gem there. Just getting started with ICT. I do recommend you go watch the 2022 mentorship by ICT. It is on the playlist on his YouTube channel. ICT is very lengthy. Very. If you do not want this bad enough, you will probably fall off by the wayside. Being just completely honest, it's a lot. You would need to take notes. It's a lot, but hopefully, I'm of some service that can help you in your journey. Until next time, good luck and good trading, and we'll see you in the next video.